Alright, so here we are for stream 2 for Star Trek Resurgence. Let me... Okay, so we're going to do the last save, which is a provocation to war. And if this actually loads, here we go. Another sweeping epic shot of the ship that we're on, which I can't remember the name of it, but you know.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff.
Hello, Spock. Hi there.
It's not every day that a captain gets to welcome a Starfleet legend aboard.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
Well,
I didn't mean to
it would be
suggest
past
you
tense
were
by
stuck in
now.
the past.
Sorry.
You're right, Ambassador.
Oh look, we have to honor the legend.
Words.
You are a legend, Ambassador. There's not an officer in Starfleet that doesn't know of your career.
I would never assume that to be the case.
Oh,
We're hoping
please,
you could
don't
fill
be
us
so
in on the
modest.
details. We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed, and the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour. Lydia and Hotari.
Can the volume up a little bit?
The Lydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century
There
ago.
we go.
This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illydians have shared a mining operation there. The Illydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illydians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have
Have
been
the
limited by
Illydians
the
retaliated?
ionic
Can
interference.
hold the mines? How did this happen? Oh, how did this happen? I'm sure.
How is it the Hotari were able to turn the tables and take the mines against superior forces,
Tell me.
especially after decades in this arrangement?
Unclear. The answer to that question may be the key to a new, lasting peace, and one that I hope we can uncover during these negotiations.
Let's find out.
But it is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would stand a chance against the Illydian fleet if this escalates to open war. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly, the
that
Hotari have been
mustache.
exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable
Can I get a
alternative for
mustache?
everyone. They
think I
both
should.
profited from the mines. And for the
Why
Hotari,
is not
something
get a
is better
mustache
than
one of the
nothing.
options?
Peace
I
is
agree
our
with this one. They
objective,
don't
after
want
all.
peace. They'll still
is
be
correct.
exploited. Well, that's true.
We can call it profitable or mutually beneficial, but at the end of the day, the Hotari are still being exploited for their own resources.
True peace is not
Based in
merely
reality. That's the thing about
absence
Star
of war.
Trek. It's always like
And
topical
as
about
such,
like
this conflict will surely come again.
society, unfortunately.
Neither the Illydians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention.
Oh, do tell.
In the past, the Federation has relied on the Illydians as a source of dilithium.
Here we go.
That certainly changes things.
Federation sources
This
its
gives us
dilithium
leverage.
from a lot
We
of
won't be
places.
trusted. So I guess we're
Yeah,
culpable.
and
Well,
this is one of them.
yeah, option B and C really. Yeah, culpable.
So we've already played a part in this.
Unfortunately, that is indeed the case, Commander Rydek.
We're morally obligated to make this right.
Hold on. Our only obligation is to negotiate the peaceful resolution of this conflict.
Given the Federation's involvement in the Iridium dilithium trade,
Yes,
Captain
part
Solano
2.
and I must make every effort to appear neutral
Just
in
thought I'd
these
jump
negotiations.
in.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the ion storm has done to our ship and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Ilidian fleet has had problems with it as
All
well.
very tense now. I don't know what to do.
Recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct.
They won't dare attack
The
us.
energy
This buys us some
anomalies
time.
around
It's a
Otari
perfect
systems
storm.
have been noted in the past.
Perfect storm.
They have never been observed on the orders of magnitude we have seen in recent weeks.
That may answer why the Hotari were able to strike back after so long. They finally had an opportunity, and they took it.
That would also explain the Ilidian's restraint.
And reason to learn as much about the energy anomaly as we can.
All these species names, I have no idea who they are or what they are, or if they're minerals, or talking about the mines, or actual alien races. No idea.
Our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here, and we're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Alright, but I want that mustache.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Yes, sir.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander, as you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I
Oh
can
yeah,
do
the chat's actually
in our
appearing on the
official
overlay. Okay,
capacity
that's good. That's
as
part of
representatives the
this whole like
Federation.
test stream
But
thing,
someone
just
in
to
an unofficial
see how everything's set up.
capacity, your first
When I
officer,
actually
for
like
example,
loaded up
would not be
everything
bound
just
by those
before it was like all
restrictions.
screwed up again, and
Commander
no
Ryder
idea.
could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
She certainly...
a diplomat,
Goes her
I'll
own
be
way.
honest, whatever it takes.
Maybe that
Well,
helps in this case.
I was trying to play
would
as
be
a
unconventional,
little bit of
but
a
I'm not
bee
opposed to it.
as a character, but team effort, whatever it
I'm
takes.
perfectly happy to work outside the lines.
And by extension, you will be doing your duty, Commander.
Just not too far outside the lines. Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding
Yay,
out what
getting in
really
favor with
happened
Spock.
than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace will very well depend on it.
I'll do my best. Ooh. Oh, no idea. It's only going to be like a super quick one, maybe just one more like little chapter thing. Yeah, as I said, it was just more of a case of I loaded up OBS just before, and like all the settings were all weird,
Mr.
and there was
Diaz,
updates
I
galore,
understand
and
you have already discussed the
yeah, I just
warp
wanted
drive
to,
failure with Ambassador
yeah,
Spock.
get it working
I
again,
have.
and
It is imperative that the Ambassador's shuttle be flight ready. I need you both to ascertain the root cause of the system failures he encountered.
I'm surprised, Commander. I thought you would have wanted to work on Ambassador Spock's shuttle yourself.
I respect the Ambassador and his many accomplishments, but I do not derive any satisfaction from interacting with his shuttle as if it were somehow transubstantiated through its association
Yay.
with him. Especially when I have
make
the
sure it's
entirety of
saved
his
up.
starship to concern
Thanks for jumping
myself
in.
with.
Oh, hang on, what did you say? I want to
I'm
do it.
not the
Did you
chief
enjoy anything?
engineer
I'm
of
just,
this shuttle.
just a normal shuttle. Ah, it's a normal shuttle. Oh.
When you look at it logically, yes, it is just a shuttle. No different than any of the others.
There is plenty that is different about it, and that is what you are to investigate. But please limit your findings to observable scientific phenomena.
We'll try to restrain ourselves.
Then I will leave you to it. Make note of any abnormalities in your report.
It's really hard to kind of
Carry
stream
on.
this kind of game as well, because I keep like
It
talking
seems
over,
like he's warming up to us.
talking over all the dialogue.
Yeah.
Even
I'll
Chobok
try
has
to
to
be
look at
I'll
that
try
face
to
and know
shush.
you've earned some real respect. And I have to admit that I owe you one. You were right to make me
Don't
go
owe me. I
first.
paid a high price.
I don't know what I was
Don't forget
thinking.
it. No, you don't owe me.
You've pulled me
I
out of
really
trouble
want to play
how many
this guy
times?
as like a
Call it
yeah,
even.
super
Okay.
nice kind of guy.
At the very least, maybe I can track down that bottle of Saurian brandy you're still on the hook for. But first, we have work to do.
All right.
Ready to go?
All set.
Let's do
Let's
it.
run the diagnostic.
All right. What do we need to? Oh, my fingers just appeared. All right. I guess we go down to diagnostics. And imagine like training for Starfleet. It's like if that's how easy it is, just like push the flashing light button.
I know about your talk with Miranda.
Is that how you signs?
You do?
She sent me a Priority 1 dispatch right after your conversation. I'm happy for you. Both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
But I'm only going to tell you this once. Don't screw this up.
Well,
because
thank you,
I would be
RuPaul.
very unhappy if you tried this out and then, I don't know, 6 weeks or 6 days later, I have to start splitting holidays between the two of you. All because
That
things
won't
went
happen. Have
south
some
and you're
faith.
not
Are
on
you
speaking
upset?
terms. That just isn't gonna work for me.
I don't know what
And
you're
I
talking about.
know you'll respect that.
Are you upset?
Are you upset?
Not on your life, Diaz. But you need to be careful. I like my friends and I like our group. I don't want to lose that. Is that thing done?
Yeah, it's wrapping up. Let's see. The relays along the primary EPS are blown. The backup relays are all intact.
Oh, gotta
An
hit the data
EPS
recorder.
overload from the warp drive could cause
Gotta
that.
hit that button,
But how
gotta
did the
hit the
shuttle
flashy
end
button.
up dead in the water?
Well, maybe the ship's data recorder can tell us something.
Let's, yeah, told ya. Let's go for it. LS. Oh, what am I doing?
Here.
Oh, okay.
They were only about 8 minutes from their plotted warp point. No faults, just those warnings. What are they?
Well, let's push the buttons and find out.
Subspace variance out of tolerance. What does that mean?
It means the main navigation array lost sight of space somehow.
Will the array going offline cause that?
Yes, but it should have also thrown a fault code.
Did it? Alright, warp field inversion.
Warp field became inverted suddenly.
I've seen this happen when the center warp coil cracks.
A cracked warp coil throws a fault code.
Still, we should take a look.
And the last little button that we've got to push is the warp cascade
There was a
failure.
complete
Whatever
warp
that
cascade
means.
failure.
Wow, they're lucky the shuttle didn't turn inside out.
Makes me think the computer panicked on the warp field equation.
Any one of these failures should have thrown a fault.
If it was caused by a system failure.
None of this caused the relays to blow. Roll forward to when that happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Alright, so keep fast forwarding. Oop,
So
where are
here,
we
they
going?
take a moment
Primary
to get their
EPS
bearings and they
subsystem.
attempt to re-engage the warp drive.
There.
Buttons do we need to
That's the
push?
relays blowing.
Alright, keep going. Oh,
And
Oh,
look,
more buttons.
there's another warp system alert.
alright, so move the finger. Come
All
on.
the same. Subspace variance out of tolerance, or warp inversions. Finally, there's a complete warp cascade failure.
Then it's one of two things. Either a warp coil is cracked or the navigation array is offline.
That makes sense.
Divide and conquer. You want to check the warp coils or the navigation array? I'll check the other. Let's not overcomplicate this. One of these systems is
alright,
likely broken.
navigation array or warp coils. Let's do warp coils.
I'll check the nacelles for a cracked coil.
Alright, how do we do that? Which flashy buttons do we need to push now? Alright, your tricorder can record and analyze data. Looking through it can reveal the unseen. Use the square button to equip or holster your tricorder. Hold R2 to scan glowing objects. Alright, so tricorder. Just move it over. Oh, where do we? Oh, there's someone's head. Oh, that anything? No. Nope. Nope. I'm not entirely sure. What's that? What's that white thing? Can I scan that? No. Nope. So do I go around the other side then? Is that how I do it? I go over this way? Oh, what's that? Oh, that's something. Out of range. Okay. Oh, okay, so I've got to scan that thing. I don't know what I'm doing, apparently. Sometimes just a scan will activate a deep scan. Use deep scan L1 and R1 to switch between the different scan modes. The mode indicators on the tricorder will blink if there is an object. When you have scanned all objects in the frame will change color. Alright, so let's just see how we go. Alright, so anomaly. So do I go back? No. Alright, so I'm gonna scan that. I've done that. Biological scan mode detected. No, I don't want that. I'm gonna holster. Just. I want to holster it, but it won't let me holster it now. So that's. Okay, so I've got to scan this one. Alright, that's another one. Alright, and this one. Alright, so is that 3? Complete scan. Nope. Nope. Gosh, all anomalies scanned, so I can holster it now, can't I? L2, complete scan. I was pushing R2. Silly man.
I checked every coil on the port nacelle for imbalances. If any coil in either engine were cracked, I would have detected it. So, it must be the navigation array.
Yep, must be.
Except it's not.
Oh.
Checked and double-checked.
Rude.
Well, the readings don't lie.
Here comes the security detail for the way team.
Oh my gosh, her hair looks like Sindel from Mortal Kombat with the grey streaks, but it was just buffering apparently. Oh, Janeway again.
Hey.
Hey, Janeway.
I'm not here.
Oh, okay, bye.
We're escorting the negotiating team to the surface as soon as they come down from the bridge. I don't want to interrupt some important work. I was just hoping to see you before I go.
Oh.
The
Oh,
captain
shit, I
and the
kind
others
of
will be
romance
here in a
her.
minute now.
Always time for you.
Should be an
You have the important
interesting
job. We've got to
ride
look
down
busy
to
for the
surface.
boss. Let's romance her.
Come on, I'm never too busy to make time for you.
That's not true.
No. But I am glad you came by.
No, that's more accurate.
Any
I got
type of like
precisely
romance
what you
options with this guy, I'm just gonna like just go for
those
it.
button pushers you're always hanging out with?
And you're the phaser jockeys we always beat in Parisi squares, right?
Rude.
All aboard for Hotari.
That another one of the captain's railroad things?
Gotta be. I just usually zone out by the time he gets to the whole steam engines were the warp drives of their day part. Catch y'all later.
You don't want to miss your train.
Nope. Up on board.
I do have to go. Not gonna lie, I'd rather not leave right now.
Oh, going for the kiss. Going for the kiss. Why not? Is that how you kiss? Not. I don't think so. Yes, it
That
is.
was nice.
Yeah, it was.
Save some of that for when I get back.
Oh, whatever it was,
Got
she
a
liked
deal.
it.
Be seeing you.
Hi, Janeway. Oh. A lower deck stallions. Yay for the trophy.
Edsalarda Diaz. If you could float back down to reality, we still have a ways to go.
These two are kind of cute. They've got like a good rapport.
All right, where were we?
So, the warp coils in the navigation array are fine, but the nav computer doesn't seem to think so.
I'm out of ideas short of field stripping the shuttle from bow to stern.
You wanna take this out of the shuttle and throw it on the bench?
Oh, real hands-on maintenance. I like it.
What are we doing here?
Okay, the nav computer is patched into the ship.
The ship's computer can double-check our work. If the shuttle's nav computer is putting out false data, we'll know it.
Let's run through the shuttle's logs again.
Alright, what flashy buttons do I need to push now? Alright, RS. What have we got?
Warp field inversion and a cascade failure. However, the Resolute computer doesn't show the same subspace variance.
We're in the same conditions that the shuttle was in when it failed. Why wouldn't the ship's computer get a matching result?
Someone's
What if
tinkering
the
with it.
subspace variance was a momentary occurrence?
That's a possibility, and it would explain why the simulation under our current sensor readings failed to reproduce the issue.
But a subspace anomaly strong enough to cause a warp field collapse would leave graviton ripples for days.
Let's run with the momentary subspace variance theory for now. Roll forward to the shuttle's attempt to re-engage the warp drive. We need the conditions of space around the shuttle at the moment of warp failure.
Resuming simulation.
Fast forward again, so we do RS. Chicka. Alright, we've got some 3 warning signs happening.
In warp field calculation. Cochrane formula variables are out of range.
That right there. Take the shuttle sensor data from that moment.
Computer, why did the warp field calculation fail?
Warp field pressure returned non-orthogonal. Results are undefined.
That doesn't help.
Wait, what if we use a different ship?
Put the Resolute into the simulation instead of the shuttle.
Yeah, it should warp just fine. Unless... Computer, run the simulation with the Resolute.
Resolute simulated.
Computer, give me manual control on the warp power.
There we go, RS up.
Static field intensity, warp 1.1.
It's very quick. Okay, RS up again.
1.2.
Oh, you gotta do it each time. Okay, alright.
Warp pressure is destabilizing. Error in warp field calculation. The warp drive has experienced a system-wide cascade failure. Warp field collapsed. Subspace variance is out of tolerance. Cochrane formula results are undefined.
Bingo.
What-o?
The same moment when the shuttle failed to warp, so did the ship. Whatever happened to the shuttle just happened to us. The Resolute will not sustain warp.
We can't leave Hotari space.
Uh-oh. Gotta tell someone about that. Hey, how you going? Thanks for dropping in. Just another quick one again. Having a good night? We were just told that we can't leave space because of the whole like warp drive malfunctioning kind of thing. I know, this bloody weather.
Ambassador
Ridiculous.
Spock, Captain Solano, welcome to Hotari. We are
Yeah, going good otherwise, but yeah,
My
definitely
name's
trying to
Tyler
stay cool,
Torres,
but
Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
yeah,
The honor is
looked like it
ours.
was kind of big,
And this is
stormy
Commander
and everything
Jara
kind of
Ryder,
outside. We
first
haven't had the
officer
rain or
aboard
anything
the
yet, but
USS Resolute.
yeah, it kind of looks a
You'll
bit
find she
fierce.
has a keen mind and unique insight
But
into the
honored to be
dynamics
here. Nice to
between
meet
the
you. We've
Hotari
traveled a long
and
way.
the Lydians.
I was kind of being a little bit of a stuck-up one for here, so let's do. We've traveled a long way.
We've traveled a very long way to get here.
Oh,
I
woe
know.
is me.
We cannot express how much it means to the Hotari people that
These must be the representatives of the mighty Federation,
Yeah.
the reigning authority in the galaxy. Or so we've been led to believe. Whether that's true or not remains to be seen. But, either way, we're grateful you've made the time to come to our little corner of the universe.
You're most welcome.
And you are?
This is Galvin, and this is Citron, the heroes of the revolt in the mines.
Okay, thank you. If there's like background noise that sort of comes through from that, then
Let's hope this is the last
Yeah,
time
let me
we ever
know.
have to come here. If you'll excuse me.
is that better? 1, 2, 3.
I think we're about to...
1, 2, 3. Testing. Still trying to tinker with the whole like,
Hear the arrogance from that guy?
you know, noise removal from air cons, which I've got the aircon off now at the moment and starting to swelter. He's in. Which one? That one. Eek.
That
I
may be
wasn't
true.
watching.
But let's keep an open mind going into the negotiations. Hopefully he's just one voice amongst many.
Then let's hope he's the outlier.
The Hotari have invited us as their guests, so we must show them the proper respect.
It's literally ridiculous, and just I've got like so many different programs kind of set up for it as well. Like I've got the NVIDIA broadcasts happening, I've got Wavelink happening, and like they're all kind of connected to each other. I'm like, I don't know which one's doing what. I think I'd need to go back to basics and stuff, but anyway. As long as it's working okay at the moment, that's the main thing. Oh, she looks a bit fierce. I'll do different. Or different. Different. How do you say that word? Different. I feel like she could challenge me if I kind of showed it was a bit like, a bit more staunch.
Spock, welcome to Holtari Prime.
The honor is mine.
Ah, yeah, good
Your
point.
Majesty.
That the
Good point.
Federation would send one of their most respected
I
representatives.
keep forgetting that there's
is not
like
only an
other
honor to
options
Holtari
and
people and their queen,
there's like so many
recognition
buttons.
of our stature and importance.
Let's get on with it, shall we? With all due respect to the Federation and their ambassador, they have no authority here. We are not members
look
of their
around.
alliance. We are not subject to their rule, nor yours. We demand the immediate return of all mining operations to Elydian control, as it has been for centuries and will be for centuries more.
Yeah, he told
That has
you.
always been our understanding.
That understanding has changed.
Then you invite war.
And if you cannot remain
Oh.
silent, you will be silenced. But his point is well taken. What is the Federation's interest in this matter? Perhaps you would have us trade one oppressor for another?
The Federation remains neutral. Our only interest is the
Where's Spock?
peaceful resolution of this conflict. We are here at your request, Your Majesty.
You know, it's a casual
now.
project.
I'm trying to keep an open mind here, but it's not easy.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good way to do it. It's just remembering that you can do that stuff. Oh, she's tough. We're not liked. Not now. Let's do not now.
Was there something you wanted to say,
Occasionally,
Captain?
yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the whole like hearing self back thing. It's just like I hear myself and then I kind of want to stop talking so I can hear
She can speak for
myself. And
herself, can she?
it's 22. It's so bizarre.
Then let her.
That's the thing. It's all just getting used to it and knowing what does what and what it should do and all that kind of stuff. Oh,
Now then, what is your name?
it looks so fierce.
Commander Jara Rydek, Your Majesty.
Being a Kobliard, you would know better than anyone.
Oh. I tried wireless headphones to begin with, but then like I couldn't work out the whole Bluetooth thing, and it was I was just like I'll just do wide for now and work out settings, knowing what does what. But yeah, I could imagine it'll take a bit getting used to that little bit of a lag. It'll be
As
like,
much as
ooh.
they'd have you believe they are the victims here, remember it was the Hotari who attacked us. Hundreds of innocent Elydians were slaughtered without mercy in those mines.
The blood is on their hands, not ours.
Quiet!
Ooh.
If after all the Kobliard suffered, you finally had the chance to right that wrong, to get out from under their control, would you take it?
Ooh, ooh.
Or would you negotiate a
I
peace?
feel like a choice is coming up. Ugh, I would right the wrong, I would seek peace. I can't speculate on that. Look, I'm gonna do a cop out. I can't speculate.
I
Need more
can't
information.
speculate on something that never happened, Your Majesty. Sadly, that opportunity never came for the Kobliad.
No, it did not. But we'd be wise to learn from their example, before we too find ourselves facing extinction. The Federation is the most powerful, most advanced alliance in the galaxy. It's widely known we have an abundance of dilithium in our mines. And it's in your interest to secure a steady supply.
Your Majesty,
I'll make it
if I may.
happen. I'll make it
Ambassador
happen.
Spock would have us believe you're here as a neutral party in the interest of peace. So why are you really here?
Well,
I want
peace
the
is
truth,
always like the
not
main
your
factor, but
Federation rhetoric.
like, I don't know, I'm not a diplomat. It's not my place to say.
I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but it's really not my place to say what the Federation's interests might be.
You are their representative.
Am I? I
I
thought it was
am.
Spock.
But Ambassador Spock is better suited
Thank
to
you.
address your concerns.
What they haven't said
Handball.
cannot
Nice
deny
handball.
is a simple truth. The dilithium trade would not and will no longer exist without a Lydian involvement. We created it for the benefit of everyone, especially the Hotari. We've given them warp technology. We've let them share in the profits. We've made their lives infinitely better than before dilithium was discovered. All of that goes away if the Federation turns a blind eye to their treachery.
Ooh.
That is enough of your
Made,
lies.
made someone angry.
The Hotari are quite capable of running the mines. We've done so for centuries.
I think I completely stuffed up this.
Who deserves control of the dilithium trade and the
Ugh.
mines on Tau?
Why are you asking me this? No.
Who should the Federation recognize? The Hotari or the Alidians? Only be one or the other. Not
Look,
both.
look. All right, let's do Hotari.
If I have to choose only one, then it would have to be the Hotari.
Well said.
Well, she was scary.
How
Like,
could the just and wise Federation make any other choice?
This is an outrage.
The
Sorry.
Federation has lost all credibility.
The mines are ours. Lydia will not be deterred. We will take back our mines by any means necessary.
go speak to Spock. Like, he's better
I
at
am
this
more
than
than
I.
willing to address your concerns,
Thank you.
Your Majesty.
Thank you, Spock.
Yours as well, Representative. But I suggest we could have a more productive conversation with a smaller group. Perhaps only the most essential representatives.
Yeah, having it like too many people just muddles everything. Same in the workplace as well. It's like, yeah, don't have meetings with too many people, too many opinions, especially when you're trying to negotiate stuff. Yeah,
I hope we meet again.
sorry to hear that,
Jara
but
Ride.
yeah, I get it. I've got like funployment happening at the moment in between jobs, so I'm kind of like, yeah, not missing out on, or not missing any of that stuff. Goodness.
Spock and I will cover everything on the diplomatic front. You make nice with the locals and see if you can get some answers. We need to find out why the Hotari are so willing to risk war. What happened in those mines?
Some investigation to do. Oh, politics. Oh, all right. So, yeah, I just wish with work and people and all that, you can just go, just let me do my job. Let's just, you know, we're all working to the same goal. Like, why do we have to have
Soothing.
people that try to, you know, undermine other people and go, you know, above and not above and beyond, but just try to, you know, cause trouble. Ugh.
Commander, I'm glad you've chosen to side with the Hotari.
You're
I knew
welcome.
the Federation would see through the
We have
Illyrians'
suffered enough. The
baseless
Aliens aren't going
claims
away.
and
I'm not
protect
on
the
the other
interests of our
side.
people.
Well, I'm not on either side.
To be clear, I'm not on either side of this conflict. Our only interest is peace.
I know sometimes you just want to like wear a t-shirt to work that says, I'm just here to do my job. Like, back down.
I assume you were there the day the mines were seized from the Illyrians.
Not seized, reclaimed, and restored to their rightful owners.
Yes, I was there. We had to be decisive.
Did you have to help
before the
you
Illidians
did
could
you
even
feel
realize there was
retaliation?
nightmares upon them.
I'm curious why the Illidians haven't fought back. They have the ability to retake the mines anytime they want.
Ability is one thing. Courage is another. The Illidians know any hostile
Pause it
action
for a
on their
bit.
part
I'll be back.
will not end well.
Here we go, and I'm back. Sorry for that
They respect one
interruption.
thing above all else.
But I
That
had to put the aircon on as well. So there might be some background noise. Hopefully not.
certainly
Yeah, exactly. If you want my job, just
Any talk
you know,
of
should have
making
applied for
peace
it. But
is just that.
I got the
And
job.
worth little if
I'm
not the
here
strength
to
secure
do
it.
a role. So
Which makes me wonder about your ship, the Resolute. Undoubtedly the Federation's finest warship. Ready to contend with anything the Illidians might have in store.
Resolute
Or
can
is
hold
that
its own.
not
It's a
true?
science vessel. The fleet
Maybe
is
I
always. I'll do the fleet is always in reach.
No need to worry. Even
Oh,
in a
good.
worst
Thank
case
you.
scenario, the fleet is always within reach.
But it would probably take them quite
Well,
some time
I
to
tried
get
the whole
here.
wavelength thing and doing like noise reduction
Or
thing, but it
we
didn't.
might have other
Like I'm
ships
using the
in the
Elgato
sector.
thing and filters, and yeah, it just didn't seem to. I don't know, I couldn't hear any difference, but on the levels you can see the green thing is just constantly doing that, even though that there's no like not speaking and stuff. Yeah, really, I think I need to like I don't know, shut down, restart again, and give it another whirl or something. Kind of feel like I do want to like just uninstall all audio stuff and just go like restart from scratch. I feel like there's so many like layers to it at the moment that I've yeah, screwed up something somewhere.
I'm probably not telling you anything you don't already know, but these negotiations rely on the Federation's neutrality, as does any hope you might have for a supply of dilithium in the future. So why you would choose to side with the Hotari escapes me.
Well, she was mean.
Without
She looked
Illidian
mean.
involvement, there is no dilithium trade.
The Hotari, yeah,
But
they
clearly
remain
you
neutral.
weren't aware.
We are and will remain completely neutral. Our only interest is the peaceful resolution to this conflict.
As is ours. Of course, the question is, at what price? Major Solid Arminta, Special Attaché, Elydian
Bit of a
Armed
weird
Forces.
animation, just kind
Pleasure
of
to
like,
meet you,
and then that's it.
I have my issues with the Hotari, but I have to give them some credit. They know how to seize an opportunity. Inciting an uprising the same day as a massive, once-in-a-lifetime ion storm.
Our assumption
Sounds
was
like
that
looking
this
at the
storm
markers
was
still
just
have
an
bouncing
anomaly.
lines up in the
Yes,
monitors.
a very convenient anomaly. At least
Yeah,
that was
that's
what we were
true.
told. Of
Well,
course, I wasn't
during
there.
fun employment, I've got tomorrow off,
But
so I can.
who am I to say
Might have a go
otherwise?
tomorrow. You sound skeptical. I don't buy it. What really happened? Let's do what really happened.
Something tells me there's more to the story. So what
Oh.
really happened?
Well, the official story is that it was the storm that enabled the revolt. How else do a bunch of unarmed, unorganized miners seize control of an entire moon, much less thousands of mines? But I've talked to people who were there. They tell a different story. They say they're lucky to have escaped with their lives. That it was more than just the storm. That somehow the miners were able to harness the energy from the storm. I know it sounds crazy.
That's impossible. That
Not even
helps
sure I
explain
believe
it.
it
You
myself.
said they were primitive.
But that's what they said.
You said the Hotari were primitive,
Well, they are.
except for the part about weaponizing ion storms.
If you'll excuse me, Commander Ryder.
Commander, if I could have a quick word with you.
Sure.
Of course.
I'm encouraged to see the Federation supporting my people.
You're welcome.
I'm afraid of what
I'm
might
glad
happen
to hear
without
it.
your
Thank you,
help.
thanks to the Spock, the idea. Let's just do. I'm glad to hear it.
I'm glad to hear it. I just hope you're not the only one who feels that way.
I apologize for that. These are unusual times, to say the least.
You sure are?
Much is changing. I saw you speaking with the Elydian. I'm sure they're painting themselves as the victims.
The Elydians are under the impression the Hotari are somehow the cause of the ion storm.
But everyone's just so against each other.
Which I'm sure they attribute to our lack of experience or sheer inferiority. But we are as much the victims of this horrific storm as they are. For the first time in our history, the Hotari have the upper hand. We see ourselves as strong instead of downtrodden. New voices have risen up. Old voices shouted down. Galvin and Sidron have become national heroes. Now they have the Queen's ear. Better or worse?
You don't trust them.
on your
They took your place. They're against peace. Do the trust.
I get the sense you don't exactly trust them.
They're miners, not diplomats. I don't trust their instincts, which are leading us to war. My fear has been that the Elydians will launch an attack and crush us. You've seen their starship, no doubt. They could have retaken the mines whenever they wanted to, but it never happened. And as strange as this may sound, I'd almost say they're afraid. I just don't know what they're afraid of. It's still the same bluster
From
and
the
bravado you would
Federation, the
expect from them.
Ion Storm.
But it has no teeth. Like they're afraid of what might happen.
Let's do the Ion Storm, because I feel like
Do you
that's the
think it has
center of
something to do
things.
with the ion storm? Right now, it's stronger than ever, isn't it?
It's entirely possible. I'm not a scientist, but I do know the storm has knocked out all kinds of systems. So maybe the Elydians weren't willing to risk their ships, given all the interference. Since the day of the revolt, Galvin has seized control of the mines and restricted all access. No one's allowed without his personal authorization. And they've taken over a section of the palace with just as much secrecy and security. I'm told it could be something they brought back from the mines.
Good. The plot thickens. What is it? Why would they do that? Are you sure of this?
Strongly suspect they're hiding something.
Are you sure of this?
Are you sure of this?
It's been the talk of the palace since the day of the revolt.
How can we know?
I'd better see what's happening.
What's happening?
Do you think you can find out what they're hiding?
Tell me.
need to see proof of something before I can make my case to the Federation.
I can try, but even if I found it, I might not know what to make of it.
Just find out info. Like, just tell me what it is.
Take this.
Oh.
You can use it to capture whatever you find, and then send it to me.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will let you know what I find. And I look forward to our meeting again.
Alright, report your findings to Captain Lano. Is where? Is there a map in this game? Can you actually... Nope, no map. Captain Solano, where are you? Can you get behind this door? Nope, nothing. Like, welcome to my stream where I just walk around corridors.
They seem proud of their culture. Pride can lead to rash action.
Here can. Oop. Captain. Thank you.
Well, that was a disaster.
What happened?
The Hotari refused to concede anything, so the Illidians stormed out.
Not rude.
The Hotari did not invite us here as peacekeepers. I hope your efforts were more fruitful than ours.
Half. The plot thickens.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Increase warp output triangle.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
Oh, what's happening? Oh.
It is evident that presently the Resolute cannot achieve warp propulsion.
Since our diagnostics rule out any problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship, the problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
I think so. We have impulse engines, might be this.
However improbable, that appears to be
storm.
the case.
I guess we're stuck.
We need to
We
know
have
more.
impulse.
Otherwise, it'll be an extended stay in the Hotari system.
Well, couldn't we slowboat it out of here at impulse speed?
It may come to that, but we don't know how far this warp dead zone extends. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to
Yeah,
construct
let's
a
do
clear
that.
picture of
Let's
the
do that.
phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
Alright, before we get into this, I might save that for next stream. So, yeah, thanks for kind of jumping in and saying hi and all the kind of feedback on the volume and all that kind of stuff. Definitely going to have a play around with it for tomorrow. Yeah, thanks. That's you. Bye.
Setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the